Many fans have pondered why the world of One Piece looks so unlike our own. This world is dominated by a vast ocean that covers most of its surface and is divided by two prominent features, the Red Line, a massive mountain range, and the Grand Line, a treacherous sea known for its extreme weather and unusual islands. These two features encircle the globe and intersect, forming four distinct seas. In this realm, Monkey D. Luffy, captain of the Straw Hat crew, dreams of being the freest man in the world by becoming the king of the pirates once he finds the legendary treasure called One Piece. So far, it appears that Luffy and his crew are on the right path, edging closer to reaching the final island, Raftel. However, when considering Luffy's journey since the beginning of the series, there have been a few things that have always bothered me. First, Luffy's quest for freedom. Luffy has a strong desire to be the freest man in the world. This desire intensified after activating Gear 5 and transforming into the sun god Nika, the warrior of liberation. According to legend, Nika would one day liberate slaves from their oppressive masters and bring joy to their lives. But here's a question that has always made me curious: what does Luffy's rubber-like body have to do with being a sun god? And how does it relate to freedom and liberation? Also, during the Straw Hat's journey so far, it didn't seem to me that Luffy's freedom was hindered by geographical barriers such as the Red Line. He can venture anywhere with his crew, whether it's the sky or the deep sea. Yet, despite all this, it still feels like Luffy yearns for more freedom. It's as if something within Luffy is telling him he's not entirely free yet. It seems like Oda is hinting at something significant related to the current shape of the One Piece world. Second, concerning the world-building structure of the One Piece world, why doesn't it look like our Earth? Why does the Red Line exist? Some speculate about the removal of the Red Line, theorizing its disappearance might unite the four seas. But think about the dangerous consequences of removing such a massive geographical barrier. How was it even built? This wouldn't make sense even in terms of a fictional world, especially if we take into consideration Oda-sensei's adherence to the laws of physics. My confusion about these aspects of the story led me to a realization. The red line encircling the globe of One Piece mirrors the way it seemed to encircle my brain. It felt like Oda-sensei had locked my mind in a cage of ideas, from which I had to break free. Luckily, after some thinking, I was able to escape from this impasse of thoughts and free myself. I've finally grasped what's happening in the One Piece world and how its peculiar structure relates to Luffy's desire for freedom. The revelation I'm about to share with you is truly astonishing. Are you ready? Believe it or not, the One Piece world, with all its distinctive features and characters, actually exists on a flat Earth. Yes, Oda-sensei has cleverly misled us. Contrary to what we've been led to believe, every event in One Piece takes place on a flat plane, not a spherical one. I know some of you might find this idea ridiculous. Some will argue, but there are many maps and artificial globes that depict the One Piece world as spherical, not flat. Others will point out that the Straw Hat crew nearly circumnavigated the Earth and that the red line circling the globe is definitive proof that the One Piece world is spherical. Some might even dismiss the idea of a flat Earth as absurd. But fear not, I will address all of these concerns. I'll explain what's really going on, just as I promised at the beginning. I shall wake you up from your slumber. I shall break you free from Mr. Oda's illusion. So, follow along as I explain what's happening, and I assure you, everything will make sense. The truth is, so far, all events in the world of One Piece are happening on a flat Earth. Let's refer to this flat land as Mu or Mu Land for easier explanations. Mu is a flat land situated on a spherical Earth and is secretly ruled by Imu-sama, who occupies the empty throne. The world of One Piece we have witnessed thus far is merely a small portion situated on a massive spherical Earth. In reality, the red line isn't a massive ring-like continent that encircles the globe, as you may have always thought, but instead, it encircles only Mu Land horizontally. In truth, Marie Joie and the Reverse Mountains are not antipodes located on a spherical Earth, and this is where Oda's trick lies. Now, let me illustrate the true depiction of the Red Line and the One Piece world. It's a full circle with a diameter passing through the center of the circle. Marie Joie sits at the center right here. Some of you might argue, what about those maps and artificial globes we've seen throughout the series that demonstrate a spherical Earth? These are all erroneous maps and artificial globes deliberately spread. It was a ploy by Imu-sama to deceive the world and make them believe that the world Luffy and the rest inhabit is actually a spherical planet. But the reality is that they are living on a flat landmass. But why call the world of One Piece flat land? Wouldn't terms like land or island suffice? How does its flatness contribute to the story, especially in the context of reaching Raftel and discovering the One Piece treasure? Because the current world-building structure of the One Piece world reflects Imu-sama's beliefs in a flat Earth and a geocentric model. Back in the past before the Void Century, Imu had a deep love for Mother Earth. He was a flat-earther and a supporter of the geocentric model. Geocentrism is an astronomical model in which the Earth is considered to be at the center of the universe, with the Sun and other planets revolving around it. Unlike Imu, Joy Boy held different beliefs. As a circus performer at the time, Joy Boy began to explore the concept of Earth's curvature and the possibility of it being round through his aerial performances and daring stunts. Previously, Joy Boy possessed the Gomu Gomu no Mi, which granted him the ability to inflate himself like a giant balloon. He often used this ability to demonstrate the Earth's spherical nature by proclaiming, "Look, the Earth is as spherical as this balloon," in a metaphorical manner. The observation of dawn also helped Joy Boy understand Earth's sphericity by revealing varying sunrise times and angles caused by Earth's curvature and rotation. Furthermore, Joy Boy adhered to the heliocentric model, which posits that the Sun is at the center of the solar system, with planets, including Earth, orbiting around it. Joy Boy loved bringing smiles to people's faces and making them happy. He noticed how the rich celestial dragons lived in luxury while others, forced to live among trash, suffered in poverty. So, he decided to build an amusement park for the poor using scrap metal he collected from the trash. In this amusement park, Joy Boy built his favorite ride, a Ferris wheel. Unlike Joy Boy, Imu-sama's favorite ride was the merry-go-round, also known as a carousel. Ferris wheel versus carousel. While riding the Ferris wheel, Joy Boy noticed something interesting. The Ferris wheel enabled Joy Boy to observe the curvature of the horizon, indicating Earth's spherical shape. As Joy Boy ascended, the horizon appeared to curve downward, illustrating Earth's curvature similarly to views from space. He also saw ships disappearing over the horizon. However, for those who ride a carousel like Imu-sama, observing the curvature of the Earth would be challenging. A carousel spins horizontally, not providing a consistent vantage point to observe the horizon's curvature. The birth of romance dawn. After Joy Boy became convinced that the Earth was spherical, he felt compelled to share this knowledge. He boldly announced to the masses that the Earth was indeed round and that the Sun lay at the center of the universe, with Earth and other planets revolving around it. To prove his point, Joy Boy resolved to embark on a daring adventure, sailing around the world. He believed that successfully circumnavigating the globe would provide irrefutable evidence of Earth's shape. However, Joy Boy's beliefs were met with ridicule and scorn from everyone around him. They mocked him, calling him foolish for embracing ideas that contradicted even the beliefs of the powerful celestial dragons. Undeterred by the mockery, Joy Boy remained resolute in his determination to sail the world and undertake his quest to prove the Earth's sphericity. Before setting sail, Joy Boy spoke to the woman he loved dearly, expressing his intentions. "Darling, I'm setting sail to circumnavigate the world. I promise we'll meet again, and when we do, I shall confirm the victory of the sun and the spherical nature of our Earth." The woman replied, "Wait, before you depart, take this straw hat I've woven. I've attached a red ribbon to it. The red ribbon symbolizes our red thread of fate, a testament to the power of love and destiny. Let it serve as a reminder that despite any obstacles or distance, we are destined to meet again, our bond unbroken by time or space. So, when you return, bring back that straw hat to me." A tale of love and adventure is all it takes to challenge Imu-sama. Upon learning of this, Imu-sama grew furious not only because Joy Boy was on the verge of disproving his beliefs and threatening his ideals but also due to the jealousy ignited by the love shared between the two. He decreed their love forbidden and devised a plan to separate them by a massive barrier known as the Red Line. Due to the Red Line, Joy Boy couldn't reunite with his other beloved to return her straw hat. This story draws inspiration from the popular Chinese folk tale, The Cowherd and the Weaver Girl. The Cowherd and the Weaver Girl are characters found in Chinese mythology. The story tells of the romance between Jinyu, the Weaver Girl, symbolized by the star Vega, and Niulong, the Cowherd, symbolized by the star Altair. Despite their love for each other, their romance was forbidden, and thus they were banished to opposite sides of the heavenly river, symbolizing the Milky Way. In indigenous Australian folklore, the Milky Way is depicted as the emu in the sky, where they perceive the form of a vast, elongated emu within its luminous expanse. Now here's another similar myth from Greek mythology. The Greek myth of soulmates. According to this myth, humans were originally created as one being with 4 arms, 4 legs, and a single head with 2 faces, making them incredibly powerful. However, fearing their power, Zeus split them into 2 separate beings, punishing them and condemning them to spend their lives searching for their other halves. Despite this separation, the myth implies that the 2 halves are inevitably drawn back together, destined to reunite and find their soulmate. This idea suggests that no matter the obstacles or distances that separate them, true love will ultimately prevail, guiding the 2 lovers back into each other's arms. Their journey to find each other becomes a testament to the power of fate and the enduring strength of their bond. The D's were once one clan, but they got separated by Imu-sama, who cast them into 2 different locations. The Void Century. There's a theory suggesting that the Void Century involved Imu-sama creating an ice age or an extended period of snowfall, inducing a 100-year-long slumber for the people. While I consider this theory partially true, it only addresses a portion of the entire Void Century. I believe the Void Century comprises a series of terraforming projects orchestrated by Imu-sama, aimed at shaping the world according to his beliefs of a flat Earth model where circumnavigation is impossible and a geocentric model where everything revolves around Marijwa. To keep these terraforming activities secret from the rest of the world, Imu-sama induced a century-long slumber among its inhabitants. To create flat and geocentric models for his realm, Imu-sama devised a masterful idea. Clockwork terraforming. By ingeniously embedding clockwork mechanisms such as gears and mechanical devices and integrating them into the natural landscape of the One Piece world, Imu could effectively control the rotation of his world. The world of One Piece spins horizontally like a carousel, with the red line being a colossal gear hidden within its thick walls. This massive gear, powered by slaves who spin it, causes Imu's world to rotate horizontally, making everything revolve around Marijua and Imu-sama as he sits on the empty throne. The whole world of One Piece is a clockwork world inspired from the concept of a clockwork universe. The concept of a clockwork universe originates from the idea that the universe operates like a finely tuned machine, where everything functions according to precise laws and principles, much like the gears and mechanisms of a clock. I think when Imu-sama was a child, he was fascinated by clockwork devices like auroras and music boxes. This inspired him to turn his realm into a box of music which can produce soothing melodies. What about the sun, the sky, and the atmosphere? The sun we've seen in the One Piece world is most likely an artificial sun. Not only that, but I think even the sky and the atmosphere are simulated. The entire One Piece world exists within its own artificial dome, or firmament, created by Imu-sama. Hold on. Please, don't tell me no one can escape from that artificial dome. Exactly, and here's the alarming revelation, nobody can break free from that dome. Why? Because the startling truth is that the world of One Piece, crafted by Imu-sama, is essentially a colossal cage. Did you hear that? It's a massive confinement where everyone is ensnared, incapable of leaving. The most staggering aspect of this world is that its inhabitants are completely cut off from the outside and remain unaware of it. That's why Luffy still doesn't feel truly liberated, he's trapped within Imu-sama's controlled environment, while others are confined like prisoners within a cage. It's akin to the birdcage that entrapped the people of Dressrosa. Attempting to escape leads to certain death. By the way, speaking of Dressrosa, take a look at its shape on this illustration. Dressrosa is a miniature representation of the true shape of the One Piece world created by Imu-sama. Why would Imu-sama do all this? Imu's actions stem from a deep-seated hatred towards humans due to the mistreatment he suffered in his past. His childhood was marked by loneliness and mistreatment by humans, contrasting with Luffy, who always had friends by his side. Imu harbored a profound love for planet Earth, a sentiment inherited from his mother. As a child, he witnessed humanity's darker side, the destruction of the environment, the pollution, and the mistreatment of animals. Imu was deeply troubled by the heartbreaking scenes of animals being subjected to cruelty in circuses. He vowed that one day, he would become a ringmaster and turn the world into a circus and subject those who had mistreated animals to the same abuse and enslavement. Over time, Imu nursed a growing resentment toward humans and the D's. His transformative moment occurred when he lost someone dear to him, perhaps his wife or his mother. The tragic demise of the person whom Imu-sama loved dearly left a profound void and emptiness in his heart. Consequently, he resolved to inflict the same sense of emptiness and void upon the world, thus initiating what became known as the Void Century. Why does Imu hate the sun? Imu hates the sun because the sun threatens his beliefs and sense of power. Imu is someone who lives in denial. He cannot accept that the sun is the biggest and most central body in the solar system, with Earth and other planets revolving around it. But the real reason why Imu hates the sun is because Imu is a vampire, which explains his fear of the dawn, as vampires are traditionally creatures of the night and vulnerable to sunlight. D might stand for Dhampir, a mythical creature in Balkan folklore born from a union between a vampire and a human. Imu's character is inspired by Dracula. In Bram Stoker's novel, Dracula, the titular character loved a woman named Mina, believing her to be the reincarnation of his lost love, Elisabetta, due to her resemblance to her. Interestingly, if you reverse the name Mina, it becomes Nami, suggesting that Nami resembles Imu's previous love. The underground world. I believe there's a hidden realm beneath Imu's world, intricately connected to the underworld. This secret place is predominantly inhabited by slaves who are essential to the survival of Imu's world. It also serves as a prison for the worst criminals. Blackbeard's plan may involve releasing these prisoners and slaves to seize control and take over the world. Imu's world. Imu's world is heavily inspired by Yggdrasil, the sacred tree in Norse cosmology, and biblical cosmology. Biblical cosmology. Revelation 7 verse 1. After this I saw 4 angels standing at the 4 corners of the earth. Daniel 4 verse 11. The tree grew large and strong and its top touched the sky, it was visible to the ends of the earth. Ezekiel 1 verse 26. And above the firmament that was over their heads was the likeness of a throne. Isaiah 40 verse 22. It is he who sits above the circle of the earth, and its inhabitants are like grasshoppers, who stretches out the heavens like a curtain, and spreads them like a tent to dwell in. In Imu's world, everyone is tiny, like grasshoppers, compared to Imu, who is considered the true giant. The earth itself is also seen as a giant compared to the sun, which is depicted as much smaller. The world created by Imu-sama can be interpreted in various ways, each highlighting different aspects of his control and influence. The world created by Imu-sama can be seen as Imu's snow globe, a small and contained world he holds entirely in his hands. Another perspective sees it as a circus, with Imu as the ringmaster, indicating his ultimate control over the events and entities within the world, orchestrating them according to his will. Additionally, the world can be compared to a clockwork music box, playing melodies that evoke memories of happier times and the love Imu-sama once had, now lost. Alternatively, the world can be imagined as an arena or coliseum, where humans battle for survival while Imu watches from above. It could also be envisioned as a well, with Imu controlling the water level, able to sink the inhabitants whenever he desires. In another interpretation, the world resembles a Christmas snow globe, with Imu posing as a false Santa Claus, enticing people with devil fruits hanging from a giant tree. These devil fruits represent the wishes people make, akin to writing wishes on cards and hanging them on a Christmas tree. Imu uses these devil fruits to weaken the inhabitants, rendering them unable to swim. When he chooses to sink the world, he can then create another world that aligns with his beliefs. However, Isaiah 40 verse 22 can be interpreted differently. Luffy, the sun, is the real giant. He will keep inflating himself like a balloon and stretching until he forces the dome to break. Once free, his continued stretching represents the vastness and boundless nature of the heavens as described in Isaiah 40 verse 22. Once Luffy breaks the dome, the real sun outside will turn out to be far larger than the earth. Luffy, as the sun, is far bigger than Imu, the earth. This suggests that the world of One Piece, created by Imu, controls the size of its inhabitants, rendering them small and insignificant. This means that everyone, including the giants of Elbaf, would still appear smaller than a normal human being living outside Imu's world. Furthermore, the entire One Piece world created by Imu might be nothing but a small island. Although I stated earlier that Luffy's adventure won't end where it started due to the journey happening on a flat plane, there's still a high possibility that Luffy's adventure will conclude where it began, on Dawn Island. Remember in the first chapter where Luffy set sail from Dawn Island and then got swallowed by a giant whirlpool? Strangely, in the subsequent chapter, we see Luffy mysteriously ending up safe and sound in a barrel. This could hint at something massive left deliberately unanswered by Oda. That whirlpool might have changed Luffy's path, redirecting his adventure to the other side of the world, precisely to where his journey is supposed to end. The whirlpool that swallowed Luffy could have reversed his path of adventure, making the ending the beginning. This means Luffy's adventure will end where it started, on Dawn Island. This also implies that Raftel and the One Piece might be in or near Dawn Island, the birthplace of Monkey D. Luffy. Plato's Allegory of the Cave is a story that makes us think about what is real and what is just an illusion. Imagine people who have been trapped in a dark cave their whole lives, only able to see shadows on the wall in front of them. These shadows are created by objects passing in front of a fire behind them. To the prisoners, the shadows are the only reality they know. One day, a prisoner escapes from the cave and is blinded by the sunlight outside. Gradually, his eyes adjust, and he sees the real world full of color and life. He realizes that the shadows in the cave were just illusions. Excited by this discovery, he returns to the cave to tell the others. However, his eyes now struggle to see in the dark, and the other prisoners, used to the shadows, don't believe him and think the outside world is dangerous. In One Piece, Eiichiro Oda uses a similar idea. The world is surrounded by a massive barrier called the Red Line and covered by an artificial dome with a fake sun and moon. This setup keeps the people inside from knowing the true world outside. Imu-sama, the hidden ruler, keeps everyone in this fake world, much like the cave in Plato's story. The people in One Piece think the fake sun and moon are real, just like the prisoners think the shadows are real. Monkey D. Luffy's adventure is like the journey of the prisoner who escapes. As Luffy and his crew explore and discover the truth, they break free from the fake world created by Imu-sama. When Luffy finally sees the real sun, it's a moment of true understanding and freedom, like the prisoner seeing the world outside the cave. In both stories, breaking free from illusions and discovering the truth is a central theme. Oda's use of this idea highlights the importance of seeking the real world beyond the lies and control imposed by others.